Hey everybody, welcome to episode 139 of Is This Thing Working? How you doing, Denise?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here. Yeah, you said my word today.
I did.
That's pretty cool. Awesome.
I did.
I can't hardly start the show without saying awesome.
Hey, and while we're talking about starting the show and we're talking about words, today and Sunday are 2 days that we need to be celebrating: Flag Day and Father's Day. So there's some F words that we can celebrate.
That's it.
How's that?
Y'all have a very happy Flag Day, and put that flag out. You know what I mean? Flag Day is important. Also, this week. Oh, go ahead.
Fly the flag of your choice.
That's it, of your choice. This America, we have choices. So far, we still have choices.
Exactly.
We're still fighting for those choices, though, and that is sad.
Yep.
But make sure you celebrate that father.
Make sure you celebrate your father. I hope that this weekend all of you get together with your families, with your friends. Enjoy the weekend, celebrate the holiday, have a great weekend.
And don't make your father grill for you. No, you grill for your father. You see how that works? Because usually it's a weekend thing for the men. A lot of times they do the grilling on the weekend. You know what I mean? Just to hang out and have some beer with their buds and all that. But y'all celebrate those that still have them. Mine's gone.
Same.
I miss them every single day. Happy Father's Day in heaven, Daddy.
Hey, are you looking for your next unforgettable experience? Discover and attend the hottest events in your area with Eventbrite. From concerts to conferences, festivals to fundraisers, Eventbrite has it all. With our easy-to-use platform, finding and purchasing tickets is a breeze. Plus, with personalized recommendations based on your interest, you'll never miss out on an event that's perfect for you. Whether you're a seasoned event goer or just looking for something new, Eventbrite connects you with experiences that create memories to last a lifetime. Download the app or visit their website today and start exploring your world with Eventbrite. Isn't that a great ad?
I do like that ad. Y'all make sure you click on the link below. We get our tickets from Eventbrite. Help us out by clicking that link below and supporting our sponsors. But I love that ad. That's a pretty cool ad. You're excited and everything. It's like, do, right in order. Here he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love it.
Well, before we start our show today, we want you to remember that these are our opinions and our assertions. And if you agree with us, please tell your friends and share our show.
Also, make sure you stomp that like button and please follow or subscribe wherever you see the name Is This Thing Working? And our podcast is available for download on all platforms like Apple and Spotify. And you can also get us at YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, you can get to every show and podcast on our website, which is www.is-this-thing-working.com. So check us out. And while you're at it, download the Rumble app so you can follow the show and you will receive instant notifications when we go live on Rumble, X, and Getter every day, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you. Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
What's the first thing we do every single day?
Everybody at one time.
Trump watch.
There we go.
There we go. And today is not only Flag Day, and this weekend is Father's Day, but today is also President Trump's birthday.
Happy birthday, President Trump.
Yes. So there we go. President Trump, happy birthday. And we always celebrate Flag Day and his birthday on the same day anyway. But yesterday he met with the House of Representatives and the Senate in D.C. and Capitol Hill, the Capitol Hill Club. You heard a lot of rumors and conjecture about what came out of there. And what I thought was really the one thing that really kind of opened my eyes, which a lot of people on many platforms has talked about, but no one has had the nerve to actually bring up the fact that they're floating the idea of abolishing the federal income tax.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, yesterday, D.C. Drano, he made a tweet on X, and he said, President Trump mentioned abolishing the federal income tax at a House GOP meeting today. Who could possibly be against this? Who doesn't want an extra 20 to 37% more in their paycheck? Did you know that this would create an economic boom, the likes of which this country has never seen? And the Democrats would never forgive us.
Well, the government would never forgive
well,
us.
that's that the government is Democrats, by the way. When I say Democrats, it's the government. Because they're all that. They're all Democrat leaning. Every one of them. Well, they are. Why are you laughing? They are.
The government, I guess.
It's Democrats.
I guess so. They've got the loudest voice.
Yes.
They do.
But to me,
I'm sorry, but
the
government.
The rhinos are also Democrats. You know, Republicans are also Democrats. It's the people against the government.
The undocumented Democrats.
The undocumented Democrats. I mean, that's just my take on things. I call them all Democrats because they're all crazy. Our government's crazy and gone way too far. I mean, look what DC Drano said. You know, income tax now is 20 to 37%. Why? Why is it that high? You know, that's big. I mean, the government is taking more and more from us every single day without even, we're getting taxed without representation.
Exactly.
You know, so we're all a little ticked off about it.
Hey, man.
So I think that's a great idea.
20% on a $100 bill is a $20 bill, man. That adds up.
It does add up.
Does. I agree.
Especially right now when the economy is out of control and people can't even afford groceries. I mean, you see it all over social media. People are crying about all that. You know, I can't afford to pay my rent and buy groceries at the same time. It's pretty sad right now. So giving this back to the American people, which people have discussed for years and years,
and plus the fact and plus the fact that we've also kind of seen that with the rise in inflation, with everything the way that it is in this day and time, as compared to even 4 years ago, it takes about $11,000 more a year for a household to meet just the basic needs.
Agreed. So this is a good thing to look at. Now he's just floating it. That's all he did. But the mainstream media has gone crazy about it. So it's kind of fun to watch.
Thomas Massey thought it was kind of interesting too, and he brought that up.
You know, and I did mention that this is actually a libertarian stance.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's not
Less
Democrat
government.
or Republican. It's a libertarian stance. So, you know, you can't really call President Trump a full Republican like the old time Republican anymore.
No, he's not.
He's not.
He never has been, and that's why
he's a populist.
That's exactly right, and that's why everybody loved President Trump.
Yes, that's exactly why. He loved people. He still loves people, and it was kind of cool. We sat down and watched it last night. His interview with what's his name?
Logan Paul.
With Logan Paul. Yeah, that was really interesting. Everyone should go listen to that because it was a different interview.
Exactly, and he was less presidential than I've seen him really ever. You know, because he had an opportunity to bring items of his platform and his stances on things. But mostly he did. He talked about the fighters and he talked about the fight game and he talked about just the whole climate of that and just the whole experience of being in the arena, working with Dana White like he does, and his thoughts about Dana and thoughts about the fighters, you know, in the different fights. It was cool. He has a good knowledge of the sport, and that was really cool to see and just listen to him sit back and kind of be himself and just have a conversation. It was really good.
It was
good.
You could tell they were nervous, you know, and they had their sheets that had certain questions that they were going to ask him and stuff. And it was really cool to watch.
And honestly, when they ask him questions about issues, they ask good questions. You know, Jake Paul
smart.
did too. Logan did too. I kind of like their and I'm still going to call them UFOs, but I like their little segment about that too. That was kind of neat. You know,
the UAPs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool because, you know, people their age are very interested in that.
Well,
you know, they have their own conspiracy theories about stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Right, and even President Trump said that he said that he goes, I've heard from very smart, rational, very intelligent people that have claimed to have seen these things. And, you know, I kind of listened to that and I thought about that too. And here's my stance on that. I don't believe there's alien life forms coming through other galaxies, coming to here to fly around and then take off again. But what I do believe is that technology is such that there probably are vehicles in the sky that can move at those speeds.
You think from other countries?
Could be. Could be our own.
We just don't know about it.
Could be our own, and we don't know about it. That's kind of my theory, my conspiracy theory with it.
Right.
What do y'all think? I don't know.
Yeah, y'all let us know in the comments what you think about. Do you think that there are aliens out there? That could come and take over America, or
I don't think they would want
still
to.
Still in our.
Would they want to? Why would they?
Still in our data. You think they're coming over here stealing our data through OpenAI?
No.
I wonder though sometimes.
No, Google does that.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone else does that. Now Apple's fixing to do it, but that's for another day. Y'all heard about Apple going to put OpenAI on their phones. And here I am, an iPhone user, and now I'm thinking about getting another phone.
I don't care. Everybody has your information, and I couldn't figure out Elon's big thing about it the other day, because look at what you got to go through to get verified on Twitter. They got your data. They got your information already anyway.
Yeah. I guess his thing is that they can go in the back way and hack it a lot easier on OpenAI. The thing about why I'm not interested in it is because I'm being forced to use it in things like Bing and Safari and on MSN. Microsoft has it all in there. And I want to be able to not use it. I want to be able to turn it off if I don't want it on my phone or on my computer or wherever it's at.
Yeah.
That's my issue with it, is I don't want to be forced to use it.
Exactly.
For it to be there, for you to tell me what you think I should know.
Yep. And I agree with that. And then set the system up and give me the choices to do that. It's kind of the same with Elon and his taking away the likes on X.
Oh, right. Yes.
Right? It's kind of the same thing. Give us a choice, but let us make that choice.
Yes. I mean, you could turn that off. That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with it because I really never used it. But James and a lot of other people used it for networking, and that it affects the way they create.
For the likes columns?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
So I agree. I think you could turn it off. I understand both sides, so I'm not going to really get into that big debate. But Elon is doing a lot of stuff that's kind of ticking people off. Another thing that Donald Trump was doing on Capitol Hill yesterday, you might have seen a couple pictures out there because they made a really big deal out of the handshake between Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and President Trump. Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yes, it was. Bannon kind of touched on the subject a little bit. We got a video from him from yesterday. This was his message to everybody yesterday about what went on yesterday at Capitol Hill with President Trump meeting with them.
The president went to Capitol Hill today, and look, and I understand there are people in this audience, and maybe even myself, that is not loving that you're fist bumping Mitch McConnell and you're telling, Glenn Youngkin's a great VP and, I'm going to endorse Hogan, and you're rubbing up on some guys in the House. Hey, it's everybody, we have to embrace an unfortunate reality. We need everybody in the boat, and we need those boats heading to the beach. You got to get off the amphibs. You got to take the netting. You got to climb into the landing crafts, and you got to head forward. You got to get to the beach, and we got to converge on the beach. And some of those people are going to be in the landing craft with you, and the landing craft next to you. You're not going to be their best friends. You're not excited about that. But the reality is, and particularly with what they're trying to do with President Trump, so just bear with him while we get everybody in the boat. And hey, we're going to have to fight afterwards as, colleagues and victors, like victors in times went by, kind of fought over, let's kill it, and then we'll fight over the carcass. Let's kill it. Let's destroy the Biden regime. We've tried to kill it in the crib. We didn't do too bad a job. Now, President Trump's return, greater than ever. But today, you see what Matt Gaetz is best at, using that brain to force the issue. He's a human forcing function.
I couldn't agree more with him. And that's what he was trying to let everybody know. Hey, man, like it or not, President Trump is the nominee. This is the party. This is where we're running. We're going to have to get along with it. We've got to get along to move forward. We've got to. So,
really
and I appreciate Bannon calling for that.
We have to get along with the Sharks to win.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I've been seeing all over social media this morning when I was looking about Glenn Youngkin and he might be the new VP pick and all that. Please, President Trump, no. No, please no. Not Glenn Youngkin. Why
No.
all of a sudden Glenn Youngkin? I am not surprised. They know we will not put up with Nikki Haley. There is no way. So why Glenn Youngkin? I just want to know. I know they want someone that's from the other Republican side, the Rhino side, and he's one of them. And please no.
Right. Well,
Just saying.
he did mention Matt Gaetz too, and one of the things that he talked about Matt was the way that Matt's helping President Trump, and he's helping Steve Bannon especially, and he's helping continue this fight. One of the things that he talked about was Matt Gaetz' smarts that he has, and this is a thing that he come out with on Timcast the other night and talked to Tim and them about the way that they're going to do what they can to help Steve Bannon and President Trump. This is what Matt said.
Because I got to give you this Bannon update. Are we going to? Should we do it at 10?
Bannon, right now.
Okay. I believe the only way Steve Bannon does not go to jail is if there is a vote at an entity called the BLAG, the Bipartisan Legal Advisory Group. It is made up of the Speaker of the House, the Majority Leader, the Majority Whip, the Minority Leader, and the Minority Whip. So the Republicans hold a 3-2 in this. Bannon is going to petition for an en banc review of this determination to revoke his bail. When he does, I believe the BLAG should and will take a 3-2 vote for the House to seek leave to file an amicus brief with the en banc court that the January 6th committee was illegitimate. It was illegitimately formed. It was a runaway committee. It did not have a proper minority member. And whether it's Peter Navarro or Steve Bannon, nobody should be sitting in a jail cell because they would not comply with the absurd musings of a committee unlike any before in our nation's history.
Talk me through that.
Wow. Do you think that'll happen?
I really hope so. I really hope so.
I just don't have much confidence in anybody in the House of Representatives very much anymore. And the reason why I say this, I mean, yes, they came together to do the contempt vote for Merrick Garland, but it has gone nowhere yet, you know? And then all of a sudden, Matt Gaetz comes out and says, should and will. Those were his words.
Exactly.
Should and will. So is he telling them that you should or you will? I mean, I don't understand that. So I'm kind of confused about the House of Representatives. You know, I just hope that they do the right thing. That's where I'm at with this. That's really something that's very important and we need to fix.
Me too. And the right thing is follow what the law says. And if they don't decide to keep Steve Bannon out of jail based on this, then by all means, we got to follow the law, correct?
Correct.
I'm telling you, at the moment that they vote on this, and if it goes against Steve Bannon's favor, my next move would be to get the Sergeant of Arms of the House of Representatives to go and arrest Merrick Garland right then. I mean, right at that moment. The moment that vote is counted and it goes against Steve Bannon, that's when it happens. You go and you put him in cuffs right then. Discover the organic goodness of Cornbread hemp. Our full-spectrum CBD products are crafted from USDA-certified organic hemp, grown in the fertile soils of Kentucky. We believe in the power of nature, which is why we use only flower extract, never stems, never leaves, to ensure that the highest quality you obtain from Cornbread hemp. From tinctures to topicals, each product is third-party lab tested for purity and potency, providing you with a natural way to support your wellness. Trust Cornbread hemp to deliver the relief and relaxation you deserve. Experience the difference of organic, full-spectrum CBD. Cornbread hemp, pure, powerful, organic. And you can find them at www.cornbreadhemp.com.
Hey, please click that link below. Thank you for supporting our sponsors. We appreciate that. Florida's Representative Matt Gaetz was also grilling people up on Capitol Hill regarding this DEI this week. I want you to listen to a video of him talking about DEI with CalPERS CIO.
And he is the interim chief investment officer. This was great.
Mr. Bienvenu, how much do you invest each year on behalf of how many of your members?
We manage a $500 billion portfolio on behalf of our 2.2 million members and beneficiaries.
And you've highlighted your principal responsibility is return for those beneficiaries, right?
Correct. Everything that we do every day is about generating returns to pay benefits.
And you've worked there 20 years. You've been the principal deputy since 2020, right?
I was named the Deputy Chief Investment Officer in August of 2020, or I'm sorry, in April of 2020.
Okay, great. And so I think there's some parallels between what's going on with ESG and DEI. You don't deny that CalPERS has a DEI agenda, right?
CalPERS is all about generating returns to pay benefits, and every topic that we approach is through that lens.
Well, does DEI improve the returns to your investors?
I think part of good governance of a company is having diverse perspectives brought to bear as they manage that company, and I feel strongly about that for the investment team that I lead. Also, we want diverse perspectives.
And what is the evidence that you rely on for the belief that the DEI agenda will produce better returns? Is there any study, report, analysis?
You know, as an investor, I read research reports constantly. I probably read 5, 6, 8 of them a day. So over the course of my career, that's probably been thousands.
I know. I'm just wondering, is there one that kind of sticks out in your mind? You can say, Congressman, I'm here to do good by these 2.2 million beneficiaries, and my embrace of DEI, this is what I can point to as the evidence that's helping them.
Every data-based study can tell lots of different things, and every data works that way. That's the way investing works. And remember that when we're focused on investing, we're focused on how we...
Mr. Bannon, you can either cite a study or you can't. You can't, right? Okay.
In the thousands of studies that I...
Just name one. Okay, well, here's what. I found a study that actually CalPERS did. You guys did this study. It's entitled Emerging Diverse Manager Data Report. And I'm citing from the 6th page of report where it says, since inception, current diverse managers generally underperformed non-diverse managers in the asset class in the policy benchmark. Are you familiar with this report?
Can I see a copy of that study, please?
Well,
you don't need to go any further with that.
That's it. You guys understand what's going on with DEI.
Yeah, and just look, he refused to answer the questions. Anytime that Matt would ask him for proof, what would he say? Well, I've read tons of research and I read market data every day, and to me that's as crazy as going to a football coach and going, "Hey man, are your players giving you the best chance to win a championship?" And you go, "Well, I've read plenty of coaching manuals and I probably read 5 or 6 of them a day." So
yeah, and the thing that got me about it was he probably already read the report that it was bad.
Oh, he knew.
He knew already, and later on in that same conversation, Matt Gaetz goes on to ask him, well, how many times have you been looked over for promotions for a DEI hire? And that was in there. And I kind of laughed because he just sat there like his head down. He didn't really say anything.
Because he had been.
He had been. He had been passed over by promotions from DEI hires and been in that same position.
That's the scary part about all of this kind of stuff, man, is the fact that he got screwed over, okay? If he got screwed over, yet look at him. Here he is trying to defend the very thing that screwed him over. That makes absolutely no sense to me, man.
Right.
And
I'm right there with you because they brought a white guy in to talk about DEI and how much, he's been looked over, and he doesn't even have the correct information. And they knew he didn't, so they sent him in there to look like a fool.
You think?
I think so. This DEI, what is it exactly, folks? I mean, we hear about it all the time. It used to be, we talked about it, it was CRT.
In terms of CRT, critical race theory.
Critical race theory. So it is,
they
in
changed
essence, they changed the words to it. And it tells us that DEI, which is an organizational framework which seek to promote the fair treatment and full participation of all people, particularly groups who have historically been underrepresented or subject to discrimination on the basis of identity or disability. These three notions together represent three closely linked values which organizations seek to institutionalize through DEI frameworks. Some experts say diversity and inclusion should be decoupled in some cases. That would be us. Some frameworks, primarily in Britain, substitute the notion of equity with equality. Now, I beg to differ here.
Well,
they said primarily in Britain.
Well, they call it a different thing. Instead of DEI, they call it EDI, equality, diversity, and inclusion. And there's other variations of it going around. Another one includes diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. That's the DEIB, or the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, the JEDI, the Jedi. Or diversity, equity, inclusion, and access, or IDEA. Here's my thing, and you ask, does it work? No, it doesn't work. The one thing that it does work to do is create more division, is to continue to tear down what could be a cohesive group of people, and you take them and you've literally broke it all the way down to identity politics, and you've placed these people in these boxes here and there and there, but you call it equality. How is that equality? You know, and they just like what they're trying to say here, that Britain took the term equity, which means an equal outcome, and they changed it to the word equality, which means an equal opportunity for all, okay? The thing that DEI doesn't do is award things based on merit. It awards things based on the boxes you check. And we've all seen great examples of this throughout the past couple of years that doesn't work. The airlines is one of them. That doesn't, you know, we've seen examples of there.
Well, prosecutors in blue states and big cities, there's more crime, less arresting, which creates lower crime numbers on paper, but doesn't solve the initial problems. And that's exactly what they're doing in these big cities, in these blue states right now, is they hire these DEI, you know, we got to be inclusive. And also, you know, they use it out in the public, where we're not going to arrest certain
Groups.
ideological group, you know, because they commit more crimes, which makes our numbers be higher, because you've heard the FBI has come out just recently and touting how the numbers have gone down in America on crime and shootings and, you know, theft and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But honestly, it hasn't. They just do it a different way now.
To me, the real problem with diversity and equity, all that term, the real problem to me is that it doesn't correct the problem. You brought that up, and that's a great point. It doesn't correct the problem. What it does, it just creates the same issues that you've already had, and it just spins them around, and it reverses them, and it points them in a different direction.
Exactly. That's totally what I see out of it a lot in these blue cities. And why they have so much crime and drug abuse, you know, people living on the street, homeless.
Well, yeah,
You know?
and just even in like he's dealing with, in just in a corporate setting and in a structure of an organization, you're going to go to work over here and you're going to stand right beside this other person over here, whether it's a female, whether it's a male, whether it's a person of a different color, different sexual orientation, whether they vote differently than you do, whether you wear Trump shirts and they wear Biden shirts. All of that aside, this tries to give what they call an equal outcome. So these companies look toward hiring 50% of them are going to be women. The other 50% are going to be men. Or, no, wait, the social narrative of today is transgender. So we're going to have so many transgender people in our company, and we're going to have so many women, and we're going to have so many African-American women, and we're going to have so many Latino women, and that kind of thing. And all that does is creates an equal outcome of people. It kind of does, it kind of puts the group together and makes like this feeling of equality, when really it's not, because what is the one thing that they base their system on? Equal outcome, not equal opportunity. So my point with that is there I am, been working beside this person over here for all these years, and all of a sudden this person gets a job promotion, not based on merit,
Based on the color of their skin.
Or their political preference.
That's
or their
it.
sexual preference.
And right now, that's what I was talking about earlier, how they want everybody to be on board for this DEI, because I believe this is how they tell. This is a tell of who you support.
Sure.
I mean, it's part of that. Okay, if you don't take the COVID shot, you're out. If you know, like the FBI, we just talked about that the other day.
If you're a Trump supporter.
If you're a Trump supporter, you're
Second
totally
Amendment
out.
supporter.
Second Amendment.
Yeah.
You know, and speaking of the Second Amendment, you know, the Hunter Biden trial ended, and he was found guilty on all 3 charges of gun possession, while doing drugs and everything. And I found it very, very interesting that all of a sudden they were very much in favor of this Second Amendment.
Exactly. A friend of mine on Facebook, and he wrote a really good post about this the other day. And I won't call him by name, but it's a friend of mine on Facebook. You can look him up. You can see I've shared the post. And this is what he said. This was his perspective, and it's really good. He goes, well, the Hunter Biden trial has painted the Dems into a corner of their own making. His lawyers argued that denying him the right to own a gun via his known and avowed drug use and resulting addiction violated his Second Amendment rights to own a gun under the amendment because it states that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. He said, meaning there's no reason to stop people from owning a gun, even if they are addicts. That was their argument in open court. Yay.
Yes. So, it just depends on whether it happens to them or not. Whether or not they go by the Constitution.
He said that too. He said that too. He goes, that was their argument in open court. Sounds a bit like the NRA, huh? He goes, yet these are the very same people who have lobbied for decades to take your rights away to own weapons because, well, you're just so much scarier owning a weapon than a privileged senator's son who's a drug addict. See how they flip this stuff around when it suits them to flip it.
Of course. But that's everybody, they do that. And so, well, I'm just like you. Here we go. I believe in the gun laws and all that and Second Amendment. But don't you ever forget the real reason Hunter Biden is in court for anything is they're going to use this to say, oh, we've already tried him for crimes, da-da-da-da-da-da. But actually, he did a whole lot more. And don't you forget that this laptop
is real.
And we'll be going way into that a whole bunch next week. But don't you forget the 51 former senior intelligence officials who signed on to a letter outlining their belief that the recent disclosure of emails allegedly belonging to Joe Biden's son has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. False news, folks.
Yep.
That was false news back there in 2020. It's false news today.
Is this thing working?
Rise up.
Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. We couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
And we'll see you next time.
We're out.